testing it out, people. We're trying something new this time because we just felt like we should do for Women's History Month. So we're doing a panel discussion, and it's called Tech-Trailblazers, Women Driving Innovation. Okay, so I'd like to introduce each of our panelists, if I can have each of you come up to the stage. First of all, Karma Hunter. Karma is the founder of Karma DNA. Give Karma a round of applause. And take a seat. Our second panelist is Trish Nash. A lot of you already know Trish. Yeah, round of applause for Trish. Trish is the broker owner of Desert Elegance, a new branding for Trish. So we're happy to be able to introduce her today. Our third panelist is Dr. Amber Lopez Lassiter from Nevada State University. Dr. Lassiter is Chief of Staff and Strategy and a bunch of other things, and I couldn't fit it all on my flyer, so she'll tell you more about that when she gets a chance to introduce herself. And our final panelist, again, a lot of people know her from Henderson here, City of Henderson Economic Development Officer, Elizabeth Lopez. Thank you, Liz. Okay, we had a last minute change, and I want to really genuinely thank Tamara, and I always have a problem pronouncing her last name, Tyrbouslu, I don't know, she can do it better than I can. Tamara is going to stand in as our moderator today. Tamara is a global real estate leader, and she can tell you more about herself. Everyone give Tamara a round of applause.
So Lorraine went ahead and she presented each one of our panelists, but I'm going to have them introduce themselves in the way that they're going to share how they're impacting their own industry with growth, okay? And so if we could have the audience 100% attention, that would be lovely. And we'll go ahead and start with whoever has the microphone, and that's Miss Karma. Wonderful. So what we're each going to share is how we're impacting growth in our industry. So if you could remind the audience what industry you're in and how you're impacting growth in that industry.
Sure. Tess, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hi everyone, I'm Karma Hunter. I am the founder of Karma DNA. I'm a marketing strategist, and Karma DNA is an AI automation and digital marketing agency. And I help small businesses, startups, and founders by implementing tech, whether that is AI automation or digital marketing strategies. We help you with complex tech strategies and AI automation and AI agents and digital marketing strategies, and help you generate leads and automate your marketing and your business. So that's how we help. And I also teach AI workshops and marketing workshops. Also, I am with UNLV's Office of Economic Development and Nevada SBDC as a business development advisor. So currently I am building an AI department at UNLV's Office of Economic Development. And one of our first initiative is the AI pitch competition. We're gonna have an AI pitch competition on April 16th. And this is for businesses to pitch about how they're gonna utilize AI in their business. Any type of business can apply. It doesn't have to be a tech company or AI business. And Amazon is sponsoring, and they're given $35,000 in help building your project. This is where they're going to put $35,000 in a bank account, and Predictive is going to help you build this project and mentor you as well.
Excellent.
So we're going to give you the link to apply.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. And before we go to our next speaker who's going to share how they're impacting growth in their industry, I'm just going to ask, out of respect for the speakers on the panel, if we could have our side conversations down to a 0. And so if, Jan, if you could just let this gentleman know. Wonderful. We're going to have time after this to network with each other. And so I'm just going to ask that we all be respectful of the speakers. Okay, thank you so much. Wonderful, go ahead.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Tech Alley. So I actually I'm Elizabeth Lopez. I work for the City of Henderson, the Economic Development Team. So I've been with the City of Henderson for about 1.5 years now. Previously, I was with the city of Las Vegas, and we actually organically helped grow what's called Tech Alley now, and started off with 40 people. And I know Josh Lopez is not here tonight, but he is the original founder of Tech Alley. No, I don't see him in the audience, but he decided to, once there was a grassroots initiative that grew, and there was a lot of momentum behind it, a lot of business meetups that would be every third Saturday of the month in downtown Vegas. And that just grew a lot of traction, where he actually formed a nonprofit from it later on. And it's been going on for, I think 4 years now. So here's the city of Henderson, working specifically on business attraction efforts. So talking to those companies that are looking to relocate to the area and making sure that they're successful in launching their company here, whether it's an expansion, whether it's a relocation from another area. I think we're seeing an influx of people migrating, especially from places like California. So being able to help those businesses locate here, providing them any state tax abatements if they qualify for, and sitting down and conversating with them and showing them what we have to offer as a valley, as a city, all the opportunities that we have here, the growth with talent, workforce development, putting them in touch with our local partners, which is the Henderson Chamber. I don't know if anybody's here from the Henderson Chamber still. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then putting them in touch with these resources to help them succeed. And so that's a little bit about my role and what I do and how we impact community, how we create jobs, how we diversify our workforce, and then also our key industries that we focus on here.
Wonderful, and so thank you so much. We're on the leading edge of technology here, okay? And so this is actually not a fake microphone. This is capturing the sound for our technology back there. So you're each gonna double with the microphone, and so if you could hold on to that when you're answering as well. It's just like I have this lapel mic here. Awesome. Whoever's holding the microphone needs both microphones, yes. Great.
So I can't look at, oh no.
There we go, or your friend.
Yeah.
See, that's how women do it, right? We help each other out. We co-empower each other. I love it. Wonderful. Go ahead, Trish.
So my name is Trish Nash. Can you hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. Trish Nash. I own a real estate company, Desert Elegance, and it's effective actually
today.
Well, it was actually yesterday. It was yesterday. And I've been in real estate for 23 years and had my own brokerage many, many years ago, and then decided to go with a franchise, and then just a couple weeks ago decided that I wanted to go back to being a small woman business-owned company, and I am a certified WOSB, woman-owned certified business, which I went through the process, and it did take me a year. It's very, very rigorous, but it's worth it. And I'm located in Henderson. So what I do to help with growth is literally my job is I sell Henderson every day. That's my job. Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, but I live in Henderson. I sell Henderson. My office is in Henderson. And how do I do that? You know, there's people that are coming here from California asking about medicine and education. I happen to be on the board for Touro University, which is a medical school. They just graduated, I believe it was 162 graduates, and 55 of those are going to be residents here in Nevada, so we will now have 55 right here. So I really try to create a vision for people to help them see what is happening in Henderson. And as far as education goes, my husband is a commercial real estate broker, and he's involved in charter schools, and he's brought 22 charter schools here. So I talk about quality of education. I talk about the fact that Henderson was just made an authorized, a charter school authorizer, which means that they have the flexibility of accrediting charter schools right within Henderson, and that there's just so many amazing things happening within our community, and really trying to sell the vision and show them all the wonderful things that the city of Henderson and our leadership is doing. So that's my job every day. I love it. And that is how I help grow our community and our population. Some of you may not like that because they say, there's too much traffic, but whether I'm doing it or not, it's going to happen, guys. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you. Excellent.
Perfect. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Dr. Amber Lopez Lassiter, and I'm the Chief of Staff and Strategy at Nevada State University. Just right here in our backyard in Henderson. Nevada State was originally created just about 22 years ago, primarily to meet two core workforce needs, one in nursing, one in education. We've since grown. We've got over 70 majors and minors right now. Our students are your future workforce. We are robustly diverse with over 70% of our students diverse. Over 50% are their first in their family to go to college, which is a really big deal, especially here in the Southern Nevada area. We know now 1 in 25, one let me get this stat right. 1/4. So out of 4 of you, 1 of you most likely have completed a college degree. And so I know we'll have the opportunity to get into that a little bit more. But we are very active. I'm pleased we've got a couple members of our workforce development crew that's here this evening. But to be able to be responsive to what those workforce needs are, and it may not be a 4-year degree. So you've heard some discussion around certifications, micro-credentials. We really pride ourselves on being nimble and being able to respond to what those workforce needs are.
Oh,
Thank
you can hold on to the microphone because that's going to lead right into the question. And so we do have some prepared questions for the panelists, which I'm going to cover just one of each. And then because the audience is so smart, and I'm sure you each have a question brewing for at least one of the panelists, I'm going to open up for Q&A, and then we'll wrap up with a couple final questions.
Perfect.
So our prepared question for you, which you're probably already aware of, that workforce development is critical, of course, to economic growth. What are the biggest gaps in Southern Nevada's workforce pipeline, and how can businesses and educators work together to bridge them?
Fantastic. Yes. I mean, touched on it a little bit, but one of the big things that we hear consistently is that employers that are interested in relocating here, they want an educated workforce. So that could look like a whole host of different things. But in working with the City of Henderson, when they're bringing in some of these larger employers, they want to know when they resituate their company here that they're going to have that pipeline. And so for Nevada State, we're very sensitive to what our curriculum and what our course offerings look like. I know for our workforce development team, they've been intentional and have worked directly with business in developing specific leadership certifications, cybersecurity, looking at how we can bolster up on the supervisory and on the management side. In thinking through long term, we want to be able to be highly responsive. And so being part of the Nevada system of higher education, a lot of times that can take time. So when we're in a conference room talking about what a degree offering can look like, we really pride ourselves on being able to take that from concept to all the way through the finish line, and then being able to offer that packaged product to employers while we're working hand in hand with the municipalities. I do want to give Trish a shout out when she says she sells Henderson. Whenever we're doing any recruitment, most recently it was one of our provost positions. Trish isn't kidding. She had the City of Henderson, the Water Street, all of the swag delivered to the office. And so as we're recruiting talent outside to come here, or even local talent to really highlight everything that this wonderful city has to offer.
I love that. That's, the partnership of private and public enterprise together. That's wonderful. And then so you can pass the mic to Trish, and we'll keep going with that. Now we do have a prepared question for you. However, I'm going to go a little bit deeper and talk more about technology, because I know you're already prepared for this, at least that part. So Henderson's one of the fastest growing cities again. We were, before when we first got into real estate, we were growing rapidly, and now we're growing rapidly again. How's real estate innovation shaping business opportunities and investment opportunities in the region?
Well, an example of that would be Elizabeth talked about their role in trying to bring companies in to Nevada and especially into Henderson. And so there's a company, I'm sure you've heard about it, Haas Automation. And they broke ground, 4 months ago over in Inspirada. And there are going to be approximately 1,735 employees that are going to be moving here in the next year and a half or so. And one of the roles that I have is to help them educate the employees on why Henderson. Or even, maybe it is in Henderson, maybe it is Las Vegas, because, many of them may not be able to afford to buy in Henderson. So I need to also understand Las Vegas and North Las Vegas. So, that's going to be a critical role that I'm going to be playing in not just educating them on what happens in the city and all the great opportunities that are there, but also regarding education. There's been times when I have taken clients to tour Nevada State University or to tour whether it's a hospital, so they understand, when Henderson Hospital was built, I literally brought some people in because they were concerned about healthcare. But one of the things that, and this is like not even with your question, or maybe it is, maybe it's linked somehow, but I just think it's such a great example, and that is the city of Henderson, how they have been such visionaries. And I wrote some little notes down as I was sitting there, because I'm reading a book called The AI, and you should all, if you haven't, who's read this book? The AI-Driven Leader. Okay, if you have not read it, we are all leaders here. You need to read this book. It is relatively new, The AI-Driven Leader by Jeff Woods. I literally just started reading it this morning. And it is amazing. It has to do with, if you are in any type of leadership, you are missing the boat if you are not utilizing AI. And here's a great, this is an example. Back in 2000, there was a company named Blockbuster. Everybody remember that? Yeah. Brick and mortar, okay? And we would all go get our DVDs. First we got our 8 tracks, then we got our DVDs from there. And if it was a couple days late, we'd pay a late fee. They made so much money on the late fees. And then,
that was their business model.
And then there was a company called Netflix where you would order it and you would get it mailed to you. You get a DVD mailed to you. And they didn't have any late fees. Netflix approached Blockbuster in the year 2000 and said, "Would you like to buy us for $50 million? And Blockbuster laughed. They said, "You don't charge any late fees, your business model sucks, it's not gonna work." And in 2010, they filed for bankruptcy because they were not innovative, and they did not understand disruptive technology. And what I equate that to all of us here as business owners or business leaders, but also I equate that to the city of Henderson and what they are doing to really be a leader in helping draw businesses and families in and schools in. And that was totally off the question of what you asked me. But I just felt it was important for them to hear this, because it's a really important book, and it's a great example of if we miss it, we could be a Blockbuster.
Yeah. Right. Well, you actually answered my question without even knowing what it was. So I was going to ask you, my second question was, how are you using technology to stay innovative in your business? Because I've always seen you as somebody who's out ahead of the trends. And so get that book. You all have an assignment.
I do have an answer.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so this is so cool. So, I'm really...
Oh, wait, I'm going to give you my microphone, because apparently yours doesn't work that well.
Oh, okay. And you have a good loud voice.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is so much better. So I'm really, really leaning in to ChatGPT and AI. And one of the things that I just learned, and you probably know this already, but I just learned this, is let's say you're buying a home and you have a home inspection and it's a 60-page report. you can take that home inspection, load it up into ChatGPT, and say, would you please give me a list, a breakdown of what the cost of repair would be based on pricing in Henderson, Nevada. And literally within seconds, I have an estimate. And this is something that, because sometimes it takes days to get bids, at least it gives me an opportunity to give this to the buyer or the seller and use it as negotiating to say, this is at least going to give you a general idea of what it's going to cost for these repairs. I mean, literally in seconds, and this could take days to do. So I think it's a really cool thing.
Absolutely, yeah, there's so many amazing.
The AI Driven Leader by Jeff, Geoff Woods. You can find it on Audible, because I listen to my books. But this is one book that there's a lot of graphs in it, so you do want to get the hard copy.
Okay, great. So you can go ahead and pass your mic then to Karma. Awesome. And Karma definitely knows her question. But how can tech startups use smart marketing to drive demand, to attract, and this is the important part, to attract the right investors? And I'm sure you're going to qualify the right investors for us.
Yes, so how can we attract the right investors? Well, the right investors and the right audience. We gotta show that there is a real market need, first of all. Also, we gotta be able to show that we know how to scale. And how can we do this? We can do this with clear market positioning. That's very important. Another thing is clear targeted messaging. Also, data-driven strategic content that speaks to your target audience language. I talk about this all the time. You gotta know your target audience's language, and you gotta speak it back to them with their words, with their phrases. So that's very important. But yeah, they gotta see that you know how to scale. And of course, with AI now, you do need to integrate AI in your business. If you don't, you're gonna be left behind. Now, you can't just say that you're using AI, you gotta also be able to show that you know how to use AI for the specific parts of your business. And whenever I teach AI, I always talk about, if you're not an expert in what you do, you should not be using AI for that. Because if AI makes a mistake, you won't know that mistake, and you're gonna keep going, and you're gonna keep making that mistake. So that's why it's very important that you gotta be able to show how you're gonna be able to scale, and scale with AI, and how you're gonna be able to use that.
Excellent, wonderful, thank you. And then Ms. Lopez. Excellent, so Henderson has launched several initiatives, which you were talking about, and to attract businesses and startups. What resources and opportunities should entrepreneurs know to maximize their success, and probably ones that they might not be aware of that are right there? You know, usually we have a scotoma, there's something right here that can help us, and it's overlooked. So if you could share those.
Yeah, absolutely. So how many small business owners are there in the room? Okay, so I would say about half. How many of you are aware of a resource called the SBDC, Small Business Development Center? Okay, so that's good. So that's actually a really free, that's a free resource that's available where you could get a business advisor to that actually, yep, here we go. And so it's a free resource that's available to anybody out there that wants to either start, launch, or grow their business. And they provide business advisory services. So anywhere with help from a marketing plan, to creating your company, to being able to scale it up with funding and loans from the SBA, the Small Business Administration, which are all federally funded programs. And it's a free resource there. All you have to do is go to the Nevada SBDC, fill out a questionnaire of what your business is, and then they match make you to the best
business advisor for you in your line of career or line of work of the business that you're creating or trying to grow. So that's actually a free resource that's available. Another thing is the Launchpad that is sponsored by and offered by the Henderson Chamber here on Water Street. And there's actually 2 small business development advisors in that office too. So on Water Street, they just hired a second person. I met her yesterday, and Annabelle is the one that runs the office here in Henderson. But again, another free resource that's available. If you are looking to create a startup, there is Zero Labs, which is part of Blackfire Innovation, and you could apply for it. I think they have, gosh, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 cohorts per year. And again, it's a free, let's say you're in ideation stage. You're like, okay, I have this idea, but I don't know how to get started. They can help coach you, along with the SBDC, could help coach you on how to get started, how to grow and scale your business, how to create a startup pitch deck, and actually going into what your business does, who your audience is, and being able to provide you support and also resources to help guide you and being able to continuously successfully grow your business. Another free resource that's available. There's also Generator. Generator is a national accelerator. So you're past the ideation stage. Now as a startup, you are in growth mode. So that's another cohort that you could apply for. I believe they have 2 cohorts per year, but they also have something called G-Beta. G-Beta is kind of like that pre-accelerator program before you actually go into an accelerator program. And what they do is they offer, once you complete their program, if you decide to accept their terms, you could get funding of up to $100,000 to help launch and continue to grow your business. And these are all resources that are available. I'm trying to think, gosh, I had a list. Oh, Community College of Southern Nevada, CSN. So they have a program for entrepreneurship called Envy Grow, another free resource for small businesses to help with advising services, to help with connections, to help grow and scale your businesses. And these are all free resources that are available out there. And SCORE, yes, SCORE is another one. Yep. So you have SCORE, and you have people that are retired or just want to take on another volunteer activity to be able to give back to small business owners and help them grow their business, and providing mentorship services for small business entrepreneurs and startups. So these are just a few of the many resources that are available for free and at the touch of our fingertips. It's just as simple as applying, going online, going to the Nevada SBDC, going to Zero Labs, applying for their cohorts for your company to launch your company or grow your company. And so that's a little bit about some of the resources off the top of my head.
That's excellent, wonderful. And we probably already have some questions from the audience. Does anybody have? Wonderful, go ahead.
So for those resources, does it have to be a Henderson-based brick and mortar business, or can it be an online business?
It could be either or.
Oh.
Yeah, so the SBDC, yes, and you could probably talk a little bit more about that too, but it could be for either or. And then, so there is incubation space at Launchpad here on Water Street for smaller companies that are looking to incubate. There's also, you've probably heard of WeWorks, there's the Regis, there's Blackfire Innovation that offers space, and I know they're not in Henderson, but that's just the different varieties of options that are available in our Southern Nevada community. So maybe let's say you're bootstrapping, because a lot of small business owners are bootstrapping in the very early stages of launching your company, and you wear so many different hats, right? And you're like, okay, what do I do next? How do I get a physical location? So these small incubator spaces help you at least identify an address and get started to get your boots on the ground. And then there's a lot of home businesses too. Yeah.
Excellent, wonderful. Do we have some other questions from the audience? Yes, go ahead. Trish.
On your chat GPT that you're loading those application forms into, which version of chat GPT are you using? Sorry.
I use the premium version. I played around with it with the free version. I think it's like $19 a month. It's really not, I mean, when you look at what it can do. And the difference is, you can see the difference. I played around with the free version versus the premium version and gave it the same question, and it was a premium answer.
Do any of those forms have confidential data on it, like PII, for names, addresses, social security numbers, that type of information on any of those forms?
Which forms are you referring to?
The applications that you're, or sorry.
Oh yeah, no, so I just did it with, it was a property inspection report, so there was no confidential information on there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Nash, how would you advise somebody to get in to some sort of government work, like say HUD?
Okay, so I was representing HUD, selling their foreclosed properties for many, many years. And that is why I ended up getting my woman-owned small business certification. I will tell you, I don't do it any longer, but now this is from the real estate side. I cannot give any suggestions outside of that, just on the real estate side. And that is that HUD has changed the manner in which they're dispersing their properties, and I saw that it was just not even worth my effort to be part of them anymore. So I'm no longer selling for HUD. But as far as anything outside of that, I think that probably Vox would be the one who can help you with that. So go see her afterwards. See Vox for details. Yeah, see Vox for details.
Yes, that was helpful. Wonderful. Other questions from the audience? We have some more time, okay, and we have plenty of time to network. Well, I'm going to have each one of you touch on some advice that, you know, in hindsight, that you look back and has been the most helpful that you could give somebody who is starting up a business and looking to basically compress time by leveraging technology. Oh, we can start there and then come back this way.
Honestly, listening to Liz and thinking about all of the different resources that are available right here in this community, and then even looking around this room when it comes to networking, I can't tell you how many times it's some of those offline conversations that result in partnerships, and whether that in the higher ed space can be curriculum. We are also, our campus is situated on 512 acres. We've only developed 60 of those acres right now. And so we have put a concerted effort into what campus development looks like, which means we're having a whole host of conversations. And part of that, and making a case of the similarity of telling people who we are, what we're about, what our mission is, what the social and economic mobility means for students, and thinking through from your perspective of folks knowing you. So when they see your face, they know what company, what organization, they know immediately who you're about, and that they're also proactively thinking through, okay, Tansy, you need to sit and talk with Liz, or Liz, I heard you talk about this. Would you mind stopping by, or would you do a coffee meeting? But thinking through holistically about what the plan is. I'm consistently talking about what's the plan, executing the plan, and then recalibrating as new variables and new opportunities come online.
I love that, because at the end of the day, business is still done person to person, heart to heart, soul to soul, right? And so all this technology helps and supports us, and we have more leverage and a wider net with them, but it's definitely about relationships. I love that you shared on that. Great. Trish.
So I talked about my new friend, ChatGPT. And what I would say is, I'm just going to look at all of you in the room, and I'm going to guess that some of you have not even tried ChatGPT, and that's okay. You start somewhere. It can be a little intimidating, but it is so easy. Go to the free version, because let me just share with you, I mentioned that I am in the process of rebranding my company. And there were so many things, because it happened so quickly, so many things that I needed to think of, such as, how am I going to describe my brokerage and the services that I provide on my website? I went to my friend Chat and asked him, please help me with this, and I was very specific and gave some key points, and I will tell you, boom, I was just amazed. And then many of you may have seen my billboard on Water Street. I need to change that. So, you know, on a billboard, you have very few letters that you can put, because you have a little bit of time where people can read it. You can't put too much. So I went to Chat and said, you know, can you give me some ideas on billboard? And this is what this is the message I'm trying to achieve. Oh my goodness, it was just so cool. So I don't have to hire the PR company to give me the ideas. I mean, I should, but I'm sorry, Mr. PR company, if you're out there. It's just a wonderful tool. So that would be number one. Embrace it, really. Just play around with it. Don't be afraid of it. You're not going to break it. It will get to know you. And then you can maybe go to the paid version, because it is truly a better version. And the other one, I would say, I've been a member of the Henderson Chamber since 2004. And when I first started my business, I became a member, and I would say get involved in some networking group. I know that's not technology, but you hit it on the head. It's still, you know, nose to nose, belly to belly business, and get to know people and embrace relationships and see how you can help others, and then they will want to help you.
Wait, just make a quick comment, and then we'll go to Karma. So I love that ChatGPT is a dude for you. Because mine's a lady, and I think that it's probably because she sort of replaced my assistant. You know, it's amazing how much work she can do and is so affordable. You know, I pay in like 1 hour with an assistant. I pay all month for ChatGPT. And my first aha was when I uploaded a bunch of spreadsheets into it and said, consolidate these into one. And it happened, and it took out the redundant information, and it did it in moments. And so, yeah, you really got to get on the bandwagon, or you're going to be left behind.
Yes, you'll be a blockbuster.
Yeah, exactly. Karma, I know that you have some wonderful insight to give us.
Thank you. Yeah, so I would say spend a good amount of time on your strategy and research, and then save time with AI and automation. And when I say this, I mean spend time on creating a tailored strategy and research on your tech stack. Just because the type of platform you're looking for, just because you know the name or it's the most common platform doesn't mean that it's going to be the best one for you. So do your research and look for the best platforms, the best tech stack for your business, for your industry, for your audience, and then use AI and automation. And if you depend on Chat all the time, sometimes Chat will give you very clever copy or strategy. And when it comes to copy, you don't want clever copy, you want clear copy. So you want to stay away from those generic strategies and generic copy that Chat gives you. And sometimes you're going to need a PR or marketing agency for that.
Oh, yeah.
For strategy. So that's all.
Excellent. I'm going to trade with you. I'll take this one back. Awesome. Okay, so we're just leaving the audience with some insight that you have that would help them save time, to compress time.
Gosh, I think a lot of people touched on it, is definitely all the AI tools that are out there. I mean, it's just like a plethora of different AI tools, Canva, and a lot of these existing apps are already they're already incorporating AI tools. And just, I'm like blown away at what Canva could do. ChatGPT, even the upgraded version for I think it's $20 a month now? Okay. Yeah, it's $20 a month, and it's a game changer for doing research for you, for identifying tools. Even as like a small business owner, you could have it create a marketing plan for you. If you have it, okay, so I'll tell you a quick tip. Prompt engineering, you could even ask ChatGPT to create the top 5 or 10 prompt engineers of whatever you're trying to ask it to do. Like top prompt engineers, it just scrubs the web with their algorithms and gathering all this data. It just has access to every resource that's out there, and it just brings it back to you and compiles it for you in a nice format. So definitely all those AI tools that are out there. I actually, when I was at Tech Alley, I actually did an AI meetup, and I think I had about 200 to 300 people sign up for it, and the room was packed. So I would actually help people prompt engineer small businesses and host the meetup once a month. I'm no longer there anymore, but you have an AI meetup, so this is a good resource for you right here on how to prompt engineer a lot of those prompts. So, but yeah, it's definitely figuring out what that is and what tools are out there. I think YouTube is actually another cool tool to learn how to use AI and what AI tools are out there. And you could even ask ChatGPT what are the latest, most thought out AI tools that people should know about as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, in your career line of work. And yeah, so I think that part, but I do have to touch on the human part, right? Because we have all this technology at our fingertips and we're always on our phones, but that human connection, those relationships that you build will take you so much further. So being able to make sure that not only are you using AI tools, but being able to connect, because at the end of the day, people are people. We're all human, right? We want to connect. We want to be part of a community. We want to be part of better creating impact and change and bettering ourselves, right? So, nothing that could ever change that is that human interaction and building those relationships and nurturing those relationships, because those relationships go a long way for you at the end of the day. Because one thing about Southern Nevada is we're still, and even Henderson too, right? Still small town feel. And we are big city lights, big city vibes, with 2.4 million people. About 300, we just did this, 300, almost 55,000 people here in Henderson. And so you're 1 degree, maybe 2 degree separation from anybody you want to know in this business, and in this community, and in this city, and in this Southern Nevada. So those relationships will go a long way, and that's that human part.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm going to trade with you again, because this one seems to, although, we're going to have to do this. Okay. There we go. We're solution finders, us women. Okay, wonderful. This was such a fantabulous panel. And did everybody learn and have a takeaway, at least 1 or 2 or 3? Okay, wonderful. And I run a global real estate business, and much like Trish, in fact, we're both part of Global and part of the Women's Council of Realtors back in the day. And I run my entire business here from Spain, from Portugal, from Okinawa, wherever I am. But we still call it even though it's high tech, it's high touch. And that's really important. So each of you touched on that, and I appreciate that human element. And Miss Lorraine over here, she is a really good example of somebody who's always on the leading edge of innovation, but you're high touch. You you took the time to talk to everybody in the room and to put this together, and it is just an amazing event. Glad to be a part of it, and thank you so much for the panel. And I'm going to pass the mic to you so that you can do some closing remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And
I wanted to thank Miss Tamara here for being an awesome moderator. She's really amazing. Okay, so I'd like to have you back, and her
great,
partner
thank
Rodney
you.
here. I think we're going to have him as a speaker maybe next time, if you're available. Incredible women, incredible accomplished women. Liz, Karma, Trish, and Amber, thank you so much for giving me your time tonight, giving us your time, sharing your knowledge with everybody. If you'd like, I'll share contact information, if I have your permission, with the group that's here in case they have any follow-up questions. Okay, on that note, does anyone have any questions right now before we close out for any of the panelists? No? Okay, I think we did that already. Well, round of applause for all our panelists and for Tamara. Sure. Oh, I'm going to take this one because it works.
Sorry.
You're good.
I didn't get a chance to mention, so Lorraine came to us and wanted to create something innovative here in Henderson, and I put her in touch with Josh, and she sees a vision for where Henderson could go as far as innovation goes. So I want to just applaud Lorraine today, if everybody would give her a round of applause for launching Tech-Alley in Henderson. And so we've been really supportive of that and having it initially successfully launched. And so, yeah, thank you.
Likewise, Liz, thank you so much for Henderson Economic Development for being supportive. They sponsor every event, have done so far, and have helped allow us to put on these events for you. So thank you to Liz. If everyone give Liz a round of applause for that, thank you. Okay, I want to go back to something Liz was talking about real quick.